Real riders know not every Harley costs an arm and a leg. Some of the best old-school bikes are out there, waiting for someone sharp enough to spot the deal. Here are 8 Harley-Davidson motorcycles you can buy for dirt cheap right now. Number 8. Harley-Davidson SuperGlide Custom. When it comes to Harley-Davidson motorcycles that strike the perfect balance between size, weight, and power, the SuperGlide Custom stands tall as one of the best-kept secrets on the used market today. Known among enthusiasts as the Goldilocks Cruiser, the SuperGlide Custom is not too big, not too small. It is just right. And because it was overshadowed by larger, flashier models in the Softail family, it is often overlooked by buyers chasing bigger names, which means you can find one for an incredible value if you know where to look. At the heart of the SuperGlide Custom is the bulletproof twin-cam engine, a power plant that has earned a reputation for durability and smoothness. The engine displaces 1,584 cubic centimeters, pumps out an impressive 73 horsepower, and delivers 81 pound-feet of torque. That combination gives the SuperGlide Custom a lively, responsive character without ever feeling overwhelming for the rider. Whether you are cruising down Main Street or hitting the highway for a long weekend ride, the SuperGlide Custom feels planted, capable, and ready to roll. The riding position is another major win for the SuperGlide Custom. Thanks to mid-mounted foot controls and a low-slung seat height of around 26 inches, it offers a natural, comfortable posture that does not beat up your back or wrists after a few hours in the saddle. The handlebars are positioned for a relaxed reach, making it equally at home in traffic or on open roads. Combined with its manageable wet weight of 633 pounds, this makes the SuperGlide Custom a fantastic choice for both seasoned riders and those stepping up from smaller motorcycles. A big part of the SuperGlide Custom's charm is its simple, classic styling. With its timeless lines, wire-spoke wheels, modest chrome accents, and distinctive peanut tank, it offers a traditional Harley look without feeling bloated or overdone. It is a bike that looks just as good pulling into a Dyna parking lot today as it did rolling off the showroom floor years ago. And because it lacks the excessive custom touches or limited edition badging of some more expensive Harleys, maintenance and part replacements are straightforward and affordable. On the used market, the SuperGlide Custom is one of the best sleeper deals you can find. Depending on condition, mileage, and year, you can expect to find clean examples typically priced between $6,500 and $8,000. Considering the build quality, comfort, and that legendary twin-cam heart beating between your legs, it is a deal that is hard to beat for anyone wanting real Harley muscle without breaking the bank. The SuperGlide Custom delivers an authentic Harley experience. The rumble, the power, the style, without the headaches of oversized touring bikes or the compromises of lighter city cruisers. But if you think the SuperGlide Custom is good, wait until you see the next bike on the list, a Sportster that punches way above its weight. Number 7. Harley-Davidson XL 1200T SuperLow. If you have been thinking all Sportsters are just small, bare-bones bikes for beginners, it is time to take a closer look. The Harley-Davidson XL 1200T SuperLow is one of the most overlooked hidden gems in the Harley lineup. It quietly packs real touring comfort into a compact Sportster frame that most people walk right past at dealerships without realizing what they are missing. Unlike the base model Sportsters, the SuperLow comes factory equipped with full touring upgrades. You get a sturdy detachable windshield, lockable saddlebags, a comfort-enhanced touring seat, and even suspension that is slightly tuned for long-distance travel. In other words, it is ready to hit the open road straight out of the dealership without needing thousands of dollars in modifications. Powering the SuperLow is the reliable air-cooled Evolution engine, displacing 1,200 cubic centimeters. It cranks out an impressive 66 horsepower and 73 pound-feet of torque. Those are numbers that give you plenty of highway passing power, especially when combined with the SuperLow's modest weight of around 590 pounds wet. It is the kind of setup that feels confident and smooth even when fully loaded with gear for a weekend getaway. What really sets the SuperLow apart is its approachability. The seat height sits at a very manageable 26.1 inches, making it incredibly easy to flat-foot at stops, even for shorter riders. The ergonomics are laid back and natural, with mid-mounted foot controls and a relaxed handlebar reach that keeps you comfortable for hours at a time. It is a true long-haul companion disguised in a lightweight, unintimidating package. Another big win for the SuperLow is its handling. Thanks to the lower center of gravity and relatively lightweight frame, this bike handles twisty back roads far better than many of the bigger touring Harleys. It feels planted and responsive, soaking up bumps without ever feeling floaty or top-heavy. It might not be the machine you picture when you think of big road trips, but after just a few miles behind the bars, you will realize it punches far above its weight class. When it comes to pricing, the Harley-Davidson XL 1200 T SuperLow can usually be found on the used market in excellent condition for between $5,000 and $7,500, depending on the mileage and extras included. That is an incredible value considering how much touring capability you are getting in such a nimble and easy-to-own package. So if you want a Harley-Davidson that is comfortable, practical, and easy to ride without the intimidating size and weight of a full dresser, the SuperLow is one of the smartest buys you can make right now. Speaking of lightweight champions, the next Harley proves you do not need 800 pounds of chrome to have a blast. If you are loving these hidden gems, give it a like and hit subscribe. We have even better ones coming up. Number 6. Harley-Davidson Street 750. When it first hit the streets, the Harley-Davidson Street 750 was met with more skepticism than applause. Traditional Harley riders were critical of its new direction, a smaller, liquid-cooled machine aimed at urban riders instead of the open highway kings. But time has been kind to the Street 750, and today it is one of the biggest hidden gems on the used market, offering incredible value for riders who know exactly what they are looking for. At the heart of the Street 750 is a robust liquid-cooled V twin engine, producing 53 horsepower with a displacement of 749 cubic centimeters and 47 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers place it squarely in the sweet spot for real-world riding, especially in city environments where low-end torque and manageable size matter more than raw top-end speed. Weighing in at just around 500 pounds wet, the Street 750 offers a riding experience that feels nimble, confidence-inspiring, and above all, accessible. Parking in tight urban spaces, weaving through traffic, or simply rolling down back roads becomes effortless. It is a bike that offers freedom without intimidation, a rare quality among Harley-Davidson models. One of the greatest strengths of the Street 750 is its design purpose. Harley-Davidson engineers deliberately created it to appeal to newer and younger riders without alienating the core values that made Harley-Davidson famous. Solid construction, that signature V-twin rumble, and undeniable presence. While it lacks the flashy chrome and oversized profile of a traditional cruiser, it delivers rugged good looks in a lean, aggressive package that feels at home both downtown and on longer backroad routes. The ergonomics are rider-friendly, with a low seat height of just 28 inches, allowing a wide range of riders to plant their feet flat on the pavement at stops. The handlebars are comfortably placed for a relaxed, slightly forward-leaning riding position, striking a nice balance between cruiser comfort and street agility. Standard features include belt drive for low maintenance, a 6-speed transmission for versatile performance, and straightforward controls that anyone can master quickly. The braking system includes a single disc up front and a single disc in the rear, providing adequate stopping power for the bike's weight and intended use. On the used market today, the Street 750 is often found priced between $4,500 and $6,000, depending on condition, mileage, and upgrades. That is an outstanding deal for a relatively modern Harley-Davidson that offers liquid cooling, proven reliability, and urban-ready performance without the intimidating bulk or price tag of larger cruisers. The Street 750 might not have turned heads when it first launched, but in today's used motorcycle world, it stands tall as a serious contender for anyone wanting authentic Harley-Davidson DNA in a city-friendly, budget-friendly package. But if you are hunting for something with classic Harley-Davidson DNA and pure old-school muscle, the next sleeper is calling your name. Number 5. Harley-Davidson FXR. There are motorcycles that become legends overnight, and then there are bikes like the Harley-Davidson FXR. The FXR is not just a bike, it is a story of resilience and quiet excellence, a machine that took decades for the world to finally appreciate. Once dismissed by die-hard traditionalists for being too different from what a Harley-Davidson was supposed to be, the FXR now holds its head high among the true cult classics of the brand. At the heart of the FXR is the 1134 cubic centimeter V twin engine. This power plant delivers a strong 76 horsepower and around 78 pound-feet of torque, giving it the kind of real-world punch that riders feel with every twist of the throttle. It is not just about going fast. It is about how the FXR feels while doing it. Stable, responsive, and confident in a way few Harley-Davidson models had ever achieved before. One of the biggest reasons the FXR stood apart from its siblings was the frame. Harley-Davidson engineers at the time prioritized rigidity and balance, creating a chassis that many still regard as one of the best Harley-Davidson ever built. With a curb weight of approximately 630 pounds, the FXR offers a perfect middle ground, substantial enough for highway stability, but light enough to remain agile in the curves. What really makes the FXR special is its almost custom-built feel. The ergonomics are dialed in just right for long-haul comfort without sacrificing that aggressive, ready-to-lean-in attitude. Whether you are carving up back roads, hitting the freeway for a weekend trip, or just cruising through town, the FXR delivers a riding experience that feels deeply personal. Despite all its strengths, the FXR struggled in the Harley-Davidson lineup when it was first released. Traditionalists preferred the Softails and heavier touring bikes, while others simply did not know what to make of a Harley-Davidson that emphasized handling and performance over pure straight-line cruising. That initial misunderstanding worked in favor of today's riders because it means many FXRs can still be found at very reasonable prices on the used market. Visually, the FXR strikes a perfect balance between classic Harley-Davidson styling and a slightly sportier silhouette. The stance is purposeful, the lines are clean, and the overall look is muscular without being bloated. Add to that its mechanical simplicity, air cooling, basic electronics, a straightforward carburetor system, and you have a motorcycle that is easy to maintain and built to last. The FXR is the bike for riders who do not just want to look cool, they want a machine that rides even better than it looks. It is a motorcycle built for the ones who ride hard, take the long way home, and appreciate the subtle details that set a true gem apart from the crowd. If that sounds good, wait until you see the next Harley-Davidson on the list, a machine so misunderstood it practically slipped through history unnoticed. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Dyna Switchback. When you think about the ultimate versatile Harley-Davidson, most riders immediately picture the Road King or the Street Glide. But lurking just out of the spotlight is a true hidden gem that gives you the best of both worlds without the heavyweight bulk or the heavyweight price tag. Meet the Dyna Switchback, a bike that can transform from a cruiser to a bagger in minutes. The Switchback is powered by the legendary twin-cam engine, coming in at 1,689 cubic centimeters. It produces an impressive 78 horsepower and 81 pound-feet of torque, giving it more than enough grunt for highway cruising, two-up riding, or back-road adventures. It tips the scales at approximately 720 pounds wet, making it lighter and more nimble than the big touring rigs, but still solid enough to feel planted and confident at higher speeds. What really sets the Switchback apart is its convertible design. It comes standard with hard saddlebags and a quick detach windshield. Within minutes, you can strip it down into a lean, mean cruiser ready for local rides, or dress it up with the bags and windshield for long-haul touring comfort. It is essentially two motorcycles for the price of one, and that kind of versatility is rare in the Harley-Davidson world. The riding position is pure comfort. Mid-mounted floorboards, a low seat height of just under 27 inches, and wide pullback handlebars make the Switchback perfect for both shorter riders and tall riders alike. Long days in the saddle are easy thanks to the natural ergonomic setup, and the suspension is tuned for a smooth, forgiving ride without feeling floaty. Up front, it features a traditional 41mm front fork, while the rear sports adjustable coil-over shocks, allowing you to fine-tune the setup whether you are riding solo or with a passenger and luggage. The styling of the Switchback stays true to Harley-Davidson's classic design language, but with some added flair. It carries the timeless curves and chrome that Harley riders love, but with a slightly sleeker, modern touch that sets it apart from the more traditional Softail or touring models. The signature nacelle headlight, 5-spoke cast wheels, and cleanly integrated saddlebags give it a distinctive silhouette that stands out without trying too hard. When it was new, the Switchback was a bit misunderstood. Traditional bagger fans wanted something heavier and bigger, while cruiser fans thought it looked too much like a mini tourer. As a result, many dealerships had a tough time moving them off the floor. And today that works in your favor. You can often find clean, low-mileage examples for around $8,000 to $10,000, depending on condition and upgrades. If you are looking for a Harley that refuses to be put in a box and delivers an incredible amount of real-world riding fun, the Dyna Switchback deserves a serious look. Now, let's talk about another bike on this list that brings pure throwback style without the heavy price tag. Number 3. Harley-Davidson Sportster 883. This is one of those bikes that often slips through the cracks, overlooked by riders who are chasing bigger engines and flashier models. But if you know what you are looking at, the 883R is a real hidden gem, combining retro racing looks, nimble handling, and pricing that is shockingly affordable for a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. At the heart of the 883R is an air-cooled V-twin engine producing 883 cubic centimeters. This engine delivers around 49 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers might not seem overwhelming to riders used to massive touring bikes, but for a light, quick, and agile machine like the 883R, they are exactly what you want. This bike was built to be enjoyed, not just admired, and it rewards riders who know how to use momentum and corner speed instead of just twisting a massive throttle. Visually, the 883R stands out immediately. It was designed to evoke the spirit of Harley-Davidson's flat-track racing days with a stripped-down, purposeful look. You get a taller suspension compared to other Sportster models, dual front disc brakes for better stopping power, and a flatter seat that invites a more aggressive riding position. Blacked-out engine cases and a simple, no-nonsense paint job complete the throwback racer vibe. What really sets the 883R apart is how it feels on the road. Tipping the scales at roughly 550 pounds wet, it is light and easy to maneuver compared to Harley-Davidson's bigger cruisers. The bike feels planted but not heavy, responsive without being twitchy. It is a perfect machine for carving through canyon roads, zipping through city traffic, or just enjoying a casual backroad ride without feeling like you are wrestling a behemoth. Maintenance on the 883R is straightforward too. The Evolution engine has earned a legendary reputation for reliability and ease of care. Basic maintenance tasks like oil changes, air filter replacements, and belt inspections are simple, making it a great choice for riders who like to wrench on their bikes themselves without complicated tools or diagnostics. On the used market, the 883R is often a steal. Because many buyers get hung up on the smaller engine size, they pass over these bikes in favor of larger displacement models like the 1200 Custom or the larger Softail line. That keeps prices low, often in the range of $4,000 to $5,500, depending on mileage and condition. And since parts are plentiful and upgrades are endless, it is easy to personalize an 883R into exactly the bike you want without breaking the bank. If you thought the 883R was a hidden gem, the next bike on this list might just make you do a double take. Number 2. Harley-Davidson V-Rod Muscle. When most people think Harley-Davidson, they picture a thundering air-cooled V-twin engine, heavy chrome, and a sound that echoes through small-town streets. But buried deep within Harley's lineup is a bike that defied all expectations, the V-Rod Muscle. This machine is often labeled the black sheep of the Harley family, and that is exactly what makes it such a hidden gem for riders who want raw power without falling into the typical cruiser mold. At the heart of the V-Rod Muscle is a liquid-cooled, Porsche-designed Revolution engine displacing 1,253 cubic centimeters. It produces an impressive 122 horsepower and 85 pound-feet of torque. That is real performance, not just for a Harley, but for any cruiser on the road. Twist the throttle on this machine, and it responds with a smooth but relentless surge that leaves even modern sports cars struggling to keep up. When it first rolled off the assembly line, traditional Harley loyalists turned up their noses. It was not air-cooled, it did not rumble with the same potato-potato rhythm, it did not even look like a traditional hog thanks to its sleek muscle bike stance, drag-style bars, and fat rear tire. But for riders willing to step outside the box, the V-Rod muscle offered, and still offers, something extraordinary. Modern engineering, effortless highway speed, and a kind of street presence no Softail or touring model can quite match. Weight tips the scales at 667 pounds wet, making it manageable enough for spirited riding, but still substantial enough to feel like a true Harley-Davidson. The 5-gallon gas tank, cleverly hidden under the seat, gives the bike a long and stable wheelbase that improves high-speed confidence. The low-slung saddle height of 26.7 inches means that even shorter riders can flat-foot at stops, giving a surprising level of control for such a beastly machine. On the used market, the V-Rod muscle often flies under the radar because many riders simply do not recognize what it is capable of. This bike offers world-class performance, stunning durability, and a look that turns heads at every stoplight, all while carrying the iconic Harley badge. Most models are available today for between $7,500 and $10,000, depending on condition and mileage, making it one of the best pure performance values Harley has ever offered. Maintenance is simple, with the Revolution engine known for running tens of thousands of miles with minimal issues. Belt drive, modern electronic fuel injection, and standard dual front disc brakes make it an easy bike to live with, whether you are carving up back roads or tearing down the freeway. For riders who have always dreamed of Harley ownership but wanted something a little different, something a little faster, and something undeniably bold, the V-Rod muscle is a ticket to a whole new experience. Get ready, because the final bike on this list might just outshine them all. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Heritage Springer. There are few motorcycles that capture the spirit of old-school American cruising quite like the Harley-Davidson Heritage Springer. This bike is an absolute masterpiece, blending timeless retro styling with real-world rideability that still turns heads today. While many Harleys from the 1990s have drifted into collector status or faded into history, the Heritage Springer quietly holds its place as one of the most charming and usable classic cruisers you can still buy without breaking the bank. At the heart of the Heritage Springer is a 1,340 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, delivering a smooth and hearty 70 horsepower and 78 pound-feet of torque. These numbers may not sound outrageous compared to modern bikes, but they are more than enough to enjoy effortless highway cruising and strong low-end grunt for city rides or winding back roads. The power delivery feels strong and deliberate, offering that classic Harley thump that experienced riders crave. Weighing in at around 745 pounds wet, the Heritage Springer balances its old-school girth with a surprisingly manageable ride quality. The ergonomics are pure comfort. Wide, swept-back handlebars, a deeply padded leather saddle, and footboards that let you stretch out in that classic cruiser pose. Even during long hauls, this bike feels right at home, with the suspension soaking up bumps in a way few modern bikes can replicate. Visually, the Heritage Springer is unforgettable. The highlight, of course, is that iconic Springer front end, a brilliant throwback to pre-World War II Harley designs. The massive front forks with their exposed springs are not just for show. They actually contribute to the plush ride feel while giving the bike a silhouette that stands out even among a sea of Harleys. Add to that the abundance of chrome, intricate fender detailing, studded leather saddlebags, and old-school whitewall tires, and you have a bike that looks like it rolled straight out of a museum, but it is fully capable of taking you across the country. One of the big appeals of the Heritage Springer today is that it still flies under the radar for many buyers. While some collectible Harley-Davidsons like the Shovelheads or the early Electra Glides have skyrocketed in price, the Heritage Springer remains shockingly affordable. You can often find clean, well-kept examples priced between $8,000 and $12,000, depending on condition and mileage. For a bike that looks this good, rides this comfortably, and carries this much history, that is an incredible value. Reliability is another big plus. Harley-Davidson had already ironed out many mechanical issues by the late 1990s, meaning the Heritage Springer offers sturdy, dependable performance without the constant maintenance headaches some older models can bring. Parts availability is still strong thanks to widespread aftermarket support, and many owners praise how easy it is to maintain with basic tools and a little garage know-how. These bikes might have slipped past most buyers, but now you know exactly where to find Harley Gold without paying Harley prices. So which one would you ride first? Drop a comment and hit subscribe. More hidden gems are coming.